If you're a Meta employee and you want to know the 3 steps you need to take now to find out if you have too much in your Meta RSUs, this video is for you. We'll cover why you should care if you have too much in your Meta RSUs, and we'll walk you through the 3 steps you need to find out if you have too much in your Meta RSUs. Let's get started. Why should you care if you have too much in your Meta RSUs? You should care because you could lose a lot of your net worth with something that happens completely beyond your control. So I talk with clients all the time about this concept of concentration, which means holding too much of a single company's stock as part of your total investable net worth. And so my guideline is if it's more than 20% of your net worth, you're highly concentrated, and that means you are taking on a ton more risk and will have a ton more volatility than a diversified portfolio. So let me tell you a quick story which illustrates this risk. So back, you probably haven't heard of it, back in the late 90s, there was a company called Enron. It was a high-flying company and stock, so Wall Street loved it, Main Street loved it, the stock kept going up and up. By the early 2000s, it was $90 a share. And then some news came out, there were some accounting irregularities, and within a few months, stock dropped to almost nothing. Now, the important part of the story is that there were lots of Enron employees who had lots of Enron stock. When you contributed to your company 401k, the company match was in Enron stock. There was a way to purchase Enron stock through the employer, and you could go and buy it out in the stock market. So there were Enron employees who had almost all of their retirement disappear overnight. So hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars they lost because of something completely beyond your control. So that illustrates the risk of why you should care if you have too much in your Meta RSUs, because you could lose most of your net worth with something that happens completely beyond your control. So what are the 3 steps to find out if you have too much in your Meta RSUs? First, I'll give you high level, and then I'll walk you through a quick example. So step 1 is calculate the total value of your Meta RSUs. Step 2 is calculate the total value of investable net worth. So you should add up your assets, including your investment accounts, savings accounts, retirement, 401k. Add those up, add them to your Meta, that's your total investable assets. Step 3, calculate what percent the Meta RSUs are of your total investable assets. That percentage, if it's greater than 20%, then you ought to think about diversifying. So let's walk through a quick example. So step 1, let's say you have 1,000 vested Meta RSUs, and Meta's at $500 a share. That's $500,000 worth of Meta RSUs. So step 2, calculate the value of your total investable assets. So let's say you add up your savings, investments, retirement, 401k, and that's a total of $500,000. You add that to the value of your Meta RSUs, that's $1 million of total investable assets. So step 3, calculate the percentage Meta is of your total investable assets. So $500,000 of Meta RSUs over $1 million of total investable assets. That's a 50% concentration in Meta. Since 50% is greater than 20%, that means you're highly concentrated and you ought to think about diversifying. So if you do have too much in your Meta RSUs and you are highly concentrated, then you need to develop a selling plan to diversify out of your Meta RSUs so that you don't lose most of your net worth with something that happens that's completely beyond your control. You can do that on your own, or you can work with a financial planner to help you do that. My name's Tom Lowe. I'm a financial planner that specializes in helping big tech employees with equity like Meta employees. So if you have your own questions about your Meta RSUs, feel free to go to my website, investedfinancialplanning.com. Click on the book a free call button, and I'd be happy to chat with you. Thank you very much.